Right, this is a best 11 from the 2023-24 season so far, but there are two rules as set out by Zach Lowy of Breaking the Lines on Twitter. Rule number 1 is to put 1 player per team, and rule number 2 is to have 4 players at most per league. So let's get into it straight away with Vicario in goal for Tottenham. I'll throw a stat at you straight away. He's prevented 6.2 goals, but the other important part is that Tottenham have struggled really defensively and have had to play like fullbacks and centre back for 3 straight games. He's kept them in games. Everton could have won on another day, and he's had plenty of those performances where he's kept Tottenham in it. I would go on a limb and say he's the most agile goalkeeper in the league. He has been great, and there are other candidates. Alisson is a very common one. Go check out the tweet by Zach Lowy. He invited people on his Twitter to put the best 11 together. So Zach, if you're watching, hello, I hope you appreciate this effort, and I hope I don't break any rules. I'm really concerned about that. Another candidate is Alisson, and a third candidate, when I was just doing my research, I saw Alvaro Valles of Las Palmas. I didn't watch any Las Palmas games this season, I have to admit, but he's apparently prevented 9.4 goals. So he could have conceded not between 9 and 10 more goals than Las Palmas have, which is just incredible at this stage. Well, Vicario's there. He's the goalkeeper. It does rule out, let's say, Pedro Porro. It rules out Heung-min Son. Madison had an injury, but he could have been a candidate too. Yeah, it's tough. And there are a lot of players that have to be there but aren't just because of the rules, really. And this example is the most screamingly obvious one. The right back is Jeremy Frimpong. So that rules out Victor Boniface. It rules out Alex Grimaldo. It rules out Florian Wirtz. What can I do? But Jeremy Frimpong is there because there's not really that many right backs that stand out. Pedro Porro maybe, but Vicario's in goal. Trent maybe, but I have another Liverpool player in there. But not to take away at all from Jeremy Frimpong, he is a worthy inclusion. He has had 5 goals and 6 assists. It is a vital part of how Bayer Leverkusen have played and have competed with Bayern Munich for the top of the Bundesliga table and have been there for many, many weeks. I covered it in this video. It should pop up in the little eye icon somewhere around here, I think. Go watch. I covered that in a lot of depth over there. And it still applies in there. Still on form, and it's still going very, very well. First of 2 center backs, William Saliba, probably the best center back in the world. Very easy inclusion, to be honest, but it does rule out Declan Rice, though. Saliba is part of the strongest defense in the Premier League this season alongside Gabriel Magalhaes, and they had a really good performance against Liverpool. Good God, that was a good game from them. Really, the only time Arsenal seemed to have opened up was the Salah goal and the Trent chance, of course, but the Trent chance was a problem with Arsenal's setup from the corner and a slip by Zinchenko, one of many, many slips that game. And then the Salah goal was Zinchenko just not getting close to putting in a good tackle. The other center back is Francesco Acerbi. I feel like I needed to include one of the Inter Milan center backs, and Acerbi is still going strong at 36. They've only conceded 7 goals in the league this season in 17 games so far. Defense wins you titles, and my vote for the Serie A title this year is going to be Inter Milan. Sorry if I cursed you there. That does rule out Lautaro Martinez, though, unfortunately. So, spoiler, he's not the striker. And there are plenty of other candidates for center back. I saw a lot of Jean-Claire Todibo, but I haven't watched Ligue 1 this season, I have to be honest, because it's another subscription package I have to pay for, and have to pay for a lot in this country. I'm based in the United States. And I wasn't about to do that. Dali Blind, of course, could have been there, but there's another Girona player in there. Fear not. Ruben Diaz was a pretty strong candidate too. Left back, Alphonso Davies. That's my weakest position, I have to be honest. And I really, 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 really wanted to put Alex Grimaldo in there. As covered before, Jeremy Frimpong is the right back. Couldn't do it. He still had 3 assists in the games I've watched Bayern Munich. He was very, very good. Probably the quickest man on earth right now. So, not an unworthy inclusion, but one I'm not too convinced about as some of the other shouts. Like the defensive midfielder, Rodri. Straight in, just put him there. The rest will work itself out, right? The best defensive midfielder in the world. The most important player for Manchester City. If he's not there, they're dropping points. It's a simple equation. The other defensive midfielder, I'm playing a 4-2-3-1. And the second DM is Alex Garcia of Girona. I learned how to pronounce Girona through the Totally Football show. There's a Spanish journalist that goes on there every week, and he pronounces it Girona, so I'm pronouncing it that way. Because he very seriously contributes both ways. When Dale Blind moves to left back and Miguel Gutierrez moves into midfield, like Girona like to do, he drops into center back. But then you also see him show up in the box, on top of the box, and chip in with 3 goals and 4 assists in the 18 league games. I think he's the main figure of how the whole Girona system works and how they've been so good this season. Obviously, Miguel Gutierrez could have been a serious shout for the left-back spot. Attacking midfielder Jude Bellingham, need I say more? He's the first name on the team. She had literally opened the website. The first name I typed was Jude Bellingham. The best player in the world shouts are valid, actually. And England are the favourites for the Euros in the summer. That's just facts. With France, of course. Onto the right wing. Mohamed Salah had to be there because the only reason Liverpool are in a title race is because of Salah. If you look at the contributions of Liverpool players, you will understand why the AFCON is going to be incredibly dangerous for this team. And it's something I overlooked before until the last couple of weeks when I realized how close AFCON was and how much Salah is contributing to this team. 12 goals and 7 assists. That's 19 goal contributions in 18 league games. The 2 next highest goal scorers are on 4 each. Diogo Jota and Darwin Nunez. 12 versus 4. So he scored 3 times the next best one. And he has 7 assists. A lot of them for Darwin himself, who has 5 assists. But I just wonder what is going to be the solution when Salah's not there. Are we just going to start Harvey Elliott on the right wing? Are we going to... I don't know. How we're going to replace his goals and assists is going to be interesting for the neutral and scary for myself and other Liverpool fans. Left wing, this was a more challenging position to pick, to be honest, just because when I do best 11s, I like to play a right wing, left wing forward. I like to play 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. So the midfield has a number 6, so in that case it's LH Garcia, number 8 or someone that will shuttle, like Rodri in this case, kind of cheating on that one a little bit, and a number 10, Jude Bellingham. And then I like to pick the best right wing, the best left wing, and the best striker. But under the original tweet, and the original tweet itself had a diamond formation to include 2 strikers, because it's been a strong season for strikers, and we'll get to that later. Left wing doesn't have many options. I just had to pick Kylian Mbappe, I suppose. Again, I didn't watch any Liga games so far, just because it's not very accessible for me. But 18 goals in 16 games. It would be pretty mad not to pick him, to be honest. But I actually wanted to shoehorn in Savio somehow, also from Girona. His FB ref, this bar chart that shows his performance in various metrics against the top 5 or whatever it's being compared to. This chart over here, it looks very funny, right? But he's my favorite left winger that I've watched this season. He simply is. That's how it is. I wanted to pick him, but I couldn't because Garcia's there, because Florian Wirtz wasn't there, because Frimpong was there. And on to the striker. Such a strong year for strikers, as I've said. Harry Kane couldn't be there because I picked Alphonso Davies for reasons I already covered. Lautaro Martinez I could have picked, but Acerbi's there, so I couldn't. Obviously, Victor Boniface could have been there easily, but I picked Jeremy Frimpong. If I hadn't picked Jeremy Frimpong, it would have been Wirtz, so there was no chance for him. But Serhou Guirassy is a strong candidate for any best striker in the world conversations when it comes to this season. What a season he is having. 17 goals from just over 11 expected goals. That doesn't mean he's the best striker in the world. The best striker in the world is Harry Kane. But Guirassy is having such a strong season. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Go watch a video, a compilation of his goals for Stuttgart. It's incredible. The range of his abilities in and outside of the box, and the variety of finishes that he's able to pull off is genuinely incredible. What a year for him so far. Hopefully it carries on. Hopefully all of these strikers that we're seeing just banging goal after goal, carry on this form into the second half of the season, into the new year and beyond. Because it's just been very, very fun to watch every week. Massive numbers from Lautaro Martinez, as I mentioned, Harry Kane. Victor Gyökeres, he's had a very strong season so far. 10 goals in 13 league games. Plenty of strikers that are having strong seasons. Victor Osimhen being one of them, for example. But Guirassy makes his way in this one, and in a lot of the lineups I've seen, in probably most of them. Oh, Mohamed Salah wasn't picked in a lot of those formations because people have been picking either Alisson or Trent. So obviously you can't choose Salah if you pick one of those two because there's only one player per team, as I mentioned. So I would like you to put your team down in the comments. Let me know which players make your formation. But remember the 2 rules. Rule number 1, 1 player per team. Rule number 2, 4 players per league. And it could be any league in the world, by the way. Have a lovely time. Happy New Year.